And now, to present the Chairman's Award, please welcome Chairman and Board of Directors, founder of Great Minds in STEM, Ray Mellado, along with the Director of Worldwide Safety Assurance at Walt Disney's Parks, Experience, and Consumer Products, past HENAAC Award winner and GMiS board member, Ivan Diaz.
Good evening. And ladies and gentlemen, one of the visionaries, let's hear it up for him. Thank you. For over 2 decades, Sandra Evers-Manley has built a remarkable career at Northrop Grumman. She joined the aerospace giant as an intern following her junior year in college. Today, she's the Vice President of Global Corporate Responsibility and the President of the Northrop Grumman Foundation. Along the way, she's received multiple awards for her tireless work as a champion of diversity and inclusion from corporate, entertainment, and civil rights organizations. Her contributions at Northrop Grumman have helped make the company a model of diversity in its industry. Diversity Inc. magazine ranked Northrop Grumman 23 overall in the country for diversity and inclusion. And this designation includes #2 ranking on its list of top companies for both people with disabilities and for the influence and accessibility of diversity councils, as well as the #1 ranking among top companies for veterans. In 2008, she established the Northrop Grumman Foundation to work directly with K-12 institutions and nonprofit organizations. Over the years, the foundation has expanded its mission and now gives generously to disaster relief efforts. The foundation's total give now surpasses $15.5 million in 2017 alone. Ray?
Wow. First of all, Ivan, the reason why you won the Chairman's Award is we weren't in the entertainment industry, but we had to find somebody with technical talent as well as leadership. And Ivan was from Disney, which is a pretty good entertainment company. And he helped us break into that industry, and that effort has made a difference in movies like Coco and Cars and our kids around the world. So Ivan, you're a well-deserved winner of our Chairman's Award. And I'm gonna probably take an extra 2 minutes, and I know the producer and directors will probably get upset with me, but I will and I can. The Chairman's Award got established, and it's the only one that has not gone through the peer review process. But when we started this organization in 1989, a movie came out called Stand and Deliver. And a young teacher, if I may add, is here today as a principal teaching our kids at a middle school in East Los Angeles, Hollenbeck Middle School, has come back to the community to help, who I know when she was a student, came out. And it had an impact on our country. It had an impact that our kids could pass calculus. And so I went to the board of directors, and in their wisdom, they said, start the Chairman's Award, and let's have one award that the chairman can choose if he wishes. And I haven't chosen an award every year, only when it's extremely, extremely somebody who has changed not only the diversity community, but in their organization and in this country. So this may be my last Chairman's Award that I give personally. So I wanted to give it to somebody who was with me on the criteria I set up over the last many years. One is that they had to be a leader and they had to make a difference. 2 is they had to make a huge difference within their organization. Well, this person taught me a 3rd criteria I have to consider, so I'll share. We just heard about her accomplishments and what she's done. She's not only a national leader in diversity and inclusion in the corporate world. But when I traveled the country the last 30 years, she's a leader in this country, in the aerospace business, and in the community. She sponsors every single program we have. We go to her with it. She pilots it. She tries it. Our very first Viva Technology speaker was the chief engineer for the B-2 and the engineer who told Gene Kranz from NASA when he called and said this mission cannot be a failure. Jorge Diaz made those decisions to bring our astronauts home. Well, wouldn't you know, the Northrop Grumman employee was our first Viva speaker. Number two is she always told me, you have to deal with the leadership. If you want to be a national organization, you have to be a leadership. And you have to deal with the leadership, and you have to talk to the leadership. So she said, come on, we're going to walk down to Wes Bush's office, the CEO of Northrop Grumman, to do that. And I did. And Northrop Grumman CEO, Wes Bush, says, Ray, you're not doing enough. We need you to do more. And that was like 20 years ago, 25 years ago, when he was just the president and not CEO and chairman. So she's taught me, and that's the third criteria I talked about. This partnership for over 30 years, this corporate involvement for over 30 years, has also created a friendship, a mentor. I've talked to her about some of the most serious problems I had to deal with other heads of other diversity organizations, about other organizations. How do we grow the organization? She has been a personal mentor. But more important than that, she has been my friend. She has helped me when I went through a heart transplant. She was there to tell Wes Bush, because he was asking all the time, how is Ray? And when I got inducted to the U.S. News World Report Hall of Fame, who was in the front row? Sandra and Wes Bush. So for me, being the 30th, I wanted to give this award to somebody who has not only been a corporate giant, who's not only helped great minds in STEM, but has been a personal friend to me during some of my toughest times. So may I give the award tonight, the Chairman's Award tonight, to Sandra Evers Manley.
Well, good evening. I'm so humbled not only to be here this evening, to witness the greater minds that will lead this nation in the future. I want to say to my hero, Ray, to the board of directors, and to the officers and members of Great Minds in STEM, the work that you do will not only change this country, but it will change the world. You are at the epicenter of what this country must stand for. And I am so proud of my affiliation with this organization. I was raised in a little town called Pittsburgh, California. My mom raised her 6 children and 10 foster children. She raised us by one letter. It was the letter L. She told us we had to love our family, love our community, and love what we do. Great Minds in STEM, you have been loving so many young people for generations. But she also taught us we had to listen. She told us we could not listen just with our ears. We had to listen with our eyes, but more so we had to listen with our heart. She also told us we had to learn. And she told us learning was not just in the classroom, but it was in the lives of the people we will meet along the way. Ray Mellado, you have been a great teacher, and we have been learning from you and your vision. She also told us we had to lift. She would say it's better to lift others up than to tear them down. This conference, this evening is about lifting. Great minds and stems, we owe you for the great lifting. I want to say to you tonight, young people in the room, I started my career at Northrop Grumman 37 years ago, my junior year of college as a summer intern. I am still on that summer internship 37 years. I work for a great company, Northrop Grumman. I work for a great leader in Mr. Wes Bush, our chairman and CEO. But one of the things I am most proud of is to be able to serve as the executive sponsor of One Adelante, our employee resource group, our Hispanic employee resource group, where La Familia runs supreme. I'm honored this evening to be recognized with the Chairman Award. It gives me the fuel, it gives me the spirit to continue to go on. I'd like to dedicate this award tonight to my dad and to his best friend, Mr. Garcia. They worked 30 years as steel workers at the Pittsburgh Steel Mill. And when the steel mill sometimes closed down, Mr. Garcia would walk in our door and he'd say, "Here's food for your family." And when the section of his steel mill, of the steel mill, was shut down, my dad did the same thing. I say to you, young people, don't just be great engineers, but be change agents as well. Thank you for this great award, and let's continue to change the world. Thank you.